Hi everyone and welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 28. Carrie is here and Ian is here.
Hello.
I'd like to start out by apologising for my voice. I'm mid-awful cold, it would seem, but what can you do? Today we wanted to talk about Lego and the quality of it, I guess, based on the recent cancellation of both the second Christmas gift with purchase, the postcards I think they said had disappeared as well, and those 3 mechs.
Yeah.
So that's quite a few sets that have just suddenly disappeared.
Dropped from the list.
Yeah. And Lego have said specifically about the mechs that it was a stability issue, is that right?
Yeah, it was to do with how the legs are attached, essentially. So
they can essentially fall over. They don't stay stiff enough to hold the mech. That's what I heard.
Think that's what people were saying. So obviously some land members have already got hold of them and played with them.
Yeah.
There are a couple of reviews out there.
And do they state that as an issue, or are Lego being perfectionists?
I don't know. I've not seen a review where they actually... So I think the problem is that they're not allowed to actually show them.
Right, because they've been cancelled.
Yeah. So it's all a bit complicated.
So they're essentially just saying what they think.
Yeah.
Not actually showing it. I'm assuming we want Lego to be perfectionists because we want good quality. We had a podcast before about, is it a premium toy? Is the quality good enough for the price that we pay? And we concluded that currently we don't think it is. We think that the quality of Lego declines significantly. So the fact that they're pulling these, whilst it may cause disappointment to some, is a good sign, right? That they're catching these issues. But should they be catching them sooner?
Yeah, it seems weird that they're catching them so late. It also, so you've got other quality issues recently with the 8080.
The fact that you can't take it apart, is that a quality issue?
Well, so I've heard at least one person who, having built something wrong, needed to take that bit apart and injured themselves trying to do it.
That seems pretty rubbish. I mean, I've put a post out before on our community tab about have you ever injured yourself on Lego, and it's quite common.
Yeah.
Because the pieces can be quite sharp and things, but if it's a side effect of trying to remove something that should be a bit easier to remove, like to undo kind of thing, not good.
And a lot of people have said, look, it's a UCS set. Once it's built, and you're never going to do anything with it. But that's not true. I've been talking to people who say they only have space for 2 UCS sets out. So their favourite 2 are out. As soon as one comes along and knocks one of those off, then they completely dismantle it.
Yeah.
Someone else who moves house quite frequently and so therefore dismantles all of their Lego before moving because they've now found that's the
safest,
better way to do it, to completely dismantle it, put it back essentially into bags and then follow the instructions and rebuild it again.
Yeah,
so
that's a lot of effort.
Yes. But so people do dismantle them. Some people will go, oh, I don't want this set anymore, I'll dismantle it and turn it into a mock. Or, they might part it out. I mean,
it's kind of Lego's USP that it can be rebuilt into anything. That's kind of their tagline, rebuild the world unless it's an 8080. Is that what the new tagline is?
Yes, I think so.
Which is a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not bothered because I have no intention of ever buying that set. But if it's a sign of things to come, then I am bothered.
Yeah.
So.
But it also seems weird that, so either this wasn't noticed by Lego, or Lego noticed it and went, meh.
Yeah, that's it's a known defect that we don't care about. It's a design flaw.
And it seems unlikely that they wouldn't have found out about it, because presumably they do quite a lot of testing with these. They do build sessions where they get people to build them. Do they not dismantle them afterwards so the next person can build them?
Maybe not. Maybe everyone gets a brand new 8080 and then they just got this army of 8080s. Like, just sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
It is worrying. I mean, the point of Lego is that you can take it apart, so that is something they should be testing.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I've heard rumours about the Christmas gift with purchase, that it wasn't necessarily a quality issue. I think Lego have said it's quality, but people are talking about this naughty list tile. Have you seen this?
Yes. So there's this idea that because it has Santa with a naughty list, and his face is grumpy, that maybe Lego went, well, that's not really giving the positive Christmas vibe that we want, and so therefore have pulled it.
So you think having both a grumpy face and a naughty list is the issue? Because I kind of feel like having a naughty list in the first place is a bit rubbish. I kind of hate that part about Santa, and I don't think we ever dwell on that with our children. That he's making a list of who's good, and if you're not good, like once or twice a year, then you get no presents. Yeah, that seems rubbish. That doesn't seem very Santa-y to me.
It's a way of convincing kids that they need to behave,
and I kind of feel that's wrong.
Yeah.
In general, like Christmas is about giving and happiness and love. Like that's not my version of Christmas. Yeah, I dislike that greatly.
Okay, but does having a naughty list? Why is having a naughty list any different to having a nice list?
Yeah.
If you've got a nice list, that implies there are some people not on it. Now, whether they're on a separate naughty list or you just don't mention
just forget about them
is the same thing essentially.
So the Santa
unless you've got
sleigh,
a nice list, a naughty list, and people who have been forgotten.
Does the Santa sleigh have a nice list, or does it just have a list?
I thought I've seen a nice list.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely a nice list. So they had these two sets this year, one with a naughty list and one with a nice list. Or, I mean, we've not seen this promo, like, officially. So has someone just photoshopped it and made up this rumour?
That's also a possibility.
Because it's a very similar looking picture to the one that's on the back of the Santa sleigh. So it could be that they just put the word naughty on and made a thing.
It could be.
I kind of feel like if they cancelled it over a naughty list, that probably should have got thrown out at the design stage. Someone should have gone, no, let's not make a naughty list.
Yeah.
Not let's make a whole set and then change our minds. And this seems to be a thing that
we've seen this before though. We've seen it with the
Crooks hideout,
which was some form of bomb factory that quite clearly, based on the Lego City kind of vibes, and if you start going into other themes, you'll see different levels of sensitivity.
Yeah.
But specifically with Lego City, a bomb factory seemed wrong. It seemed out of place. It seemed too far. They have sticks of dynamite and they have people using that to blow up ATMs and stuff. But a bomb factory was too far. And I think anyone who looked exclusively at Lego City sets would have gone, yes, that's wrong.
Yeah. But across all of Lego's portfolio, it's not.
But this is each theme has its own demographic. It has its own ethos. So, you know, the Harry Potter theme isn't going into Deathly Hallows because of the age range that it's going for.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that other themes that will come across as similar age ranges on the boxes won't go into darker themes.
Because they know
because the age range is who can build it, that's not who the sets are aimed at.
Yeah. So they're aiming for the higher of the demographic of that age range as who they're actually targeting.
Yes.
So just because 6 to 20-year-olds can build a set doesn't mean that it's aimed at every single one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was quite clearly they shouldn't have even continued the Crooks hideout. They should have spotted much earlier on. No, we've gone wrong. We should repurpose it into something else.
But then some people will talk about the City line having so much crime that it is a natural progression from there. That you've got all the cops and robbers. There's always heists and things.
Bomb factories are very different to stealing stuff.
It depends how you use your bombs, I guess. If you're planning on just using it to blow up a safe,
yes,
it's when it goes a bit too far.
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of feel bombs are always too far. You're right. I'll give you that.
But then you've got, you know, the Osprey, which again was pulled last minute because
he suddenly realised it wasn't just an ambulance. Was it meant to be like an ambulance?
So it was that the original thought was that the Osprey was used both by the military and by the Coast Guard.
Coast Guard, that's it. Yeah.
And then it comes to light that all of the Coast Guards that use it are classified as military.
Right.
Some countries classify their Coast Guards as police, some as an emergency service.
Right.
So different countries do it differently, but all the ones with Ospreys, they were all counted as military.
So therefore it crossed Lego's own imposed lines.
Yeah.
And so they canned it. But why did they not catch that sooner? It is crazy.
Know.
It's kind of like, I mean, we've worked in a big corporation before, or currently still for you. We know that departments don't talk to each other, and I'm going to guess that's probably what's going on inside Lego. That they're not chatting.
Yeah.
No one's, or they get so caught up in an idea that no one really thinks, hang on, what about this thing? What about this element?
Maybe. Is it just they're producing too many sets and they're snowed under?
So they're not giving everything the eyeball that it should be getting because they're trying to look at too many things. They definitely do seem to be doing a lot of sets. And I think that's an issue. What effect did the 6 cancellations have on like share price? Oh, there's no shares, is there?
No, it's a private company, so...
Yeah, so they don't care, do they?
No.
As long as they're still selling stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think Lego will ever not be a private company?
I don't know.
I'd like some shares in Lego. Seems like a good way to invest without having to like store all the Lego in your house. Lego investing, but without the storage side.
Slightly more risky though.
Because you only have a bit of paper to show, and that can go up and down.
Yeah, if the company goes bust, then you lose all your shares.
Whereas
if the company goes bust, you've still got Lego, and in fact, a lot of it would go up in value.
Yeah. So we just got to take the side effect of having to store things. Not that we do much Lego investment, so it's not really an issue. Quality-wise, did you hear about the camper van? The VW camper van, and how the number of people who were building that on like live streams and stuff, it would just crumble in their hands, and they didn't have any stability on the pieces on, I think it was the doors maybe, and loads of people complained about that, and people have stopped building it and just gone, look, I'm not going to carry on with this set, it's useless. And it seems to be that the plastic is too flexible, so it's not sticking properly.
Yeah.
And someone's done like a whole article of like just bending the Lego and how it's bendy and it shouldn't be bendy. But Lego haven't admitted that there's an issue with that set. Do you feel like if lots of people are saying it, Lego need to investigate more?
Well, so Lego is not a very transparent company.
No.
They may well be investigating it and trying to come up with a solution, and then it might be that they switch around a couple of parts or something, and you can phone up and get sent a free little pack of parts to fix your build. So
they're trying to contain the publicity side of things whilst
Possibly.
They investigate. But then you're essentially just like saying to your customers, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's fine. And that doesn't seem great. Have they said
that to anyone?
I think the articles that I was reading seemed to imply that Lego said there's no issues with this set. But it must be an issue with your building.
Well, Lego have a policy that you can return a set for pretty much any reason. Yeah. So if you went, this is unsound and I can't build it, then they go, well, you can return it and get a full refund.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to admit there's a fault.
No.
They would just take a refund.
I think it's...
At any point, would they say, yes, you're right, there's a stability issue? Because what's the benefit in them doing that?
Well, I think it's when like a whole group of people have spotted it and they're all banding together to sort of say, you need to admit there's a problem here.
Why?
Well, it's the same thing that happened with the 8080. People were saying it's unbreakdownable, and Lego, you need to respond to these issues.
But why does Lego need to
I
respond?
Don't know.
There's no upside in Lego responding.
Their consumers feel like they're being ignored, that they found an issue. They really want to enjoy the set, and the quality isn't there. Therefore, if Lego just say, "We'll just bring it back," that's not the response you want. You want someone to fix it.
Right, but they can't fix it overnight. So the options are either to say, "Yes, there's a problem with it. We'll give you a full refund," or "Doesn't matter if there's a problem with it. We'll give you a full refund." Those are the two options they've got. Why would they admit to a problem?
Yeah, to be more transparent and to.
But they don't care about being transparent.
Well, should they?
I don't know. Like, how does a Lego postcard have a quality issue?
Yeah, I don't really know about that one. I've not seen anything about that.
No.
That one's definitely been a lot quieter, sort of removed. I guess maybe because no one cares. Yeah, exactly. Maybe they just went, no, we've got too many things. We'll say it's... Well, no one said it's a quality issue, have they? It's just...
I don't know. Yeah, I saw things saying they'd been removed for quality issues, but that was their whole list of them. I don't know if anyone specifically said they were removed for a quality issue.
People have just spotted it and said they don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some clip kind of pieces in there. Maybe they're too brittle. I don't know.
And obviously Lego are experimenting with recycled plastics.
Yes.
So it's always possible that they've added some recycled plastic into that set, and then they've found some last minute things where clutch power degrades too quickly or something. It's, you know.
And this is one of the things that, whilst you want to be green and make everything sustainable, you also want to maintain the quality.
Yeah.
And you want to know if your set's going to last forever. Because that's kind of the point of Lego.
Yes.
It's meant to last forever.
I think this is again where, if Lego was more transparent, it would be really helpful. So if it is, that's the reason, and they came out and said that, I think people would be more understanding.
Yeah.
They're going, you're looking at recycled plastics, which is probably a good thing.
And you're making
and you're checking the quality on it, and you're pulling sets if they've not got the high enough quality.
Because this is the thing, a lot of people are like, no, don't make it recycled plastic because it's going to ruin my toy. Whereas if you know they are doing that quality check, then you'd be slightly more willing to move over to the system because they have checked it. It's a tricky one. It's not a great start to the year for Lego, based on those 6 things being removed.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you worry, what have they not yet found, I guess.
I think that's it, yeah. As I said, too many of these things are coming out very last minute. I mean, pulling sets once they've been sent out to LAN members.
Yeah, that's way too late.
Once they've been sent out to shops. You know, it's just causing problems. Maybe Lego do need to just slow down.
Yeah, I think they are pushing real hard in every theme, and there's just too many things. As a consumer, it's hard to budget for all of those as well. So, it's tricky. The last thing I did see about the gift with purchase is that maybe they had too much stock of the first one, and they just pulled it back and said, oh, there's a quality issue, so they can save it for next year.
It's a possibility.
But again, they haven't.
Again, until they tell you what the quality issue is.
Yeah, which they're not going to do,
no.
Are they? We're never going to know.
No.
So it will just be if we see it again next year. We can't still be sure whether they've fixed it
or not.
It must suck as a designer to put all your work into that, and then it never makes it onto shelf. Like the Osprey people, they built this really nice model that everyone wanted, and yet very few people then got to get it.
Yeah.
It must be very disheartening.
Yeah. Especially when it's not the design that's at fault.
No. Yeah, there's no design flaw on that. It's just a decision should have been made earlier not to do it. Yeah. Okay, so fingers crossed the quality issues for Lego improves. I would personally like to hear more about what the issues were, but I have a feeling that will not actually happen.
Unless a fix comes out, we won't know.
Yeah. So we'll still be buying a whole bunch of sets in the new year, I'm sure. Even though slight worry about quality, but you know, we're invested now. It's hard to say no to some of these sets. If you want to hear any of our previous episodes, including the ones about sustainability and quality, you can check out our back catalogue, which is available on YouTube to listen to. I'll link up in the show notes or on the screen now. So we'll be back next week with another episode. So have a good week, and we'll catch you next week. Bye!
Bye.